Hello everyone, it's DreadBC with another daily quest, this time to kill 25 of our opponent's creatures. We know that green and blue are not really adept at doing that. Red, black, and white are, but because Mardu is generally tending to go aggro right now, I kind of wanted to stick it with Esper, and I found the most recent iteration that Merchant was running and just uploaded, I think it was last night, the anti-bolt Esper, which in Best of One is designed actually to hedge out the mono reds as well as be strong against the mid-range and try to focus out some aggro, or not, to try to focus out some control as well. So we'll just quickly go over the list because it's similar to any other Esper deck that you've seen, with a couple of changes with the new cards that have come out. To revitalize the strict mono red matchup, well, mono red, Mardu. And, by the way, you have to excuse me. This is, again, the first time I've spoken today. Trying to get back on a regular schedule is a lot more difficult than I imagined it would be. I woke up about 4 hours before my alarm went off and had a horrible headache. Had to force myself to go back to sleep. But I'm trying. So, anyway, to revitalize, strictly against the mono red / Rakdos. And, well, hard aggro. It's still going to be good against the Golgari mid-range. Gain 3 life, draw a card. He said that he did not run 4 because he felt like 4 was too much, as the rest of the deck was already pretty well poised against it as is, but every little bit helps. 2, search for Azcanta, because search for Azcanta. 4, well, we'll come back to this card. 4, absorb, another aggro counter spell. Mortify, this is one of the ones that really gets you in there against the post 4 mana mono red, where they've got Experimental Frenzy, and this is also a hedge against the Turbo Fog players. You try to get rid of their Wilderness Reclamations. And there's also 2 Syncopates, but we'll get to that. Settle the Wreckage as a one of. This is pretty much unanimously good against everything out there except for, was it Shalai? 3 Chemister's Insight, because Chemister's Insights, with Search for Azcanta, you don't always have to keep a Chemister's Insight on top to still gain card advantage out of it. Well, maybe not card advantage, but card quality advantage, because if you put this in your graveyard, you can then jumpstart it and discard a land late game. 3 Vraska's Contempt, exiles creatures, gains life. It's better than killing creatures because that's very, very difficult to bring them back. Sphinx's Insight. As opposed to a 4th Chemister's Insight, he decided to run 2 Sphinx's Insight. Against control, you flash this in. You don't care about the life as much, because they're going to kill you in 3 turns if they have a chance. They're going to use a giant creature that can't be countered, and 2 life is sort of like, okay, that's not much. But against the heavy aggro decks, that 2 life is, it's an entire spell they have to cast again. 3 Kaya's Wrath, it's a 4 mana Wrath. And the you gain life part of it is basically irrelevant because you're not going to be killing your own creatures. Your creatures, once you have them out, are... If you're casting Wrath while your creatures are on the board, it's because something has gone wrong. But, 4 mana Wrath in colors that we can most likely have on turn 4 is going to be quite good. And this is the card that has redefined the control deck in Standard. You see a lot less Jeskai, a lot more Esper now, and I'm pretty sure it's just because of this card. Absorb fits into Jeskai, Warrant fits into Jeskai just fine, but this is the one that puts it over the top. The one of Lyra Dawnbringer, this is strictly anti-control. It's great against anything that can't kill it immediately, which is why I would say it's less powerful against Golgari, who could be running... or who are officially holding on to a handful of things like destroy, well, I guess murder. I don't know that they even run murder, but Chupacabra, obviously. She doesn't like that weird dog goat thing. But yeah, against the Rakdos and the red, they either have to spend 2 cards to kill her, which is already losing them 5 damage or more, and gaining you 5 life. But if she attacks, then it's pretty much 1 attack from her almost always brings it out of play, or like out of their realm of winning. The one of Eldest Reborn, The anti-planeswalker, probably the worst card against the mono-red matchup. However, if they do manage to kill your Lyra Dawnbringer and you follow it up with an Eldest Reborn, odds are you've gotten far enough ahead at that point that it will be impossible for them to win. The one, oh, and of course, this is great against anyone who still runs a Niv Mizzet. This is great against anyone who still runs or who's running a Nezahal. This, if maybe less good against Nezahal, because if they have the 3 cards in hand, they'll just exile them. But even still, this says discard a card and then discard 3 more cards. So that's huge card advantage. 3 Teferi. I like the lists that don't run 4. I've never run 4. I only have 3 and I don't want a 4th. I think that 3 is plenty. It costs 5. He protects himself very well. His ability to bury things back into the library is just life-saving against aggro, and it's against control. Anytime that you can clear the board out to where you've still got a planeswalker on it is going to be ideal for you. Of course, casting him, using his +1 ability, and untapping 2 feels a lot better in the long run. It's still okay to cast him and bury something. So it's great against anything that you're going to play him against, as long as you can get him on board and hopefully keep him on board. The one of Chromium, the Mutable, once I saw this guy was in the list, I knew I was going to be running it, because I freaking love this card. Dragon. He's a dragon, and he's made of chrome. I mean, seriously, how cool is that? Flash, so I always forget that he has Flash. Always, always, always cast him on my main phase. I can never remember that he has Flash. He cannot be countered, which is obviously the one against control, and it makes him near impossible to kill, because you can give him the hexproof just by discarding any card. Basically, it turns lands into dive down. The downside to that is he, unlike Nezahal, dies outright to board sweeps. You can do basically nothing about that except counterspell them. And the 2 Syncopates main deck. This is one of the cards that early and late game has uses. It has fewer uses late game, but against the Turbo Fog, this is the one that hits their Nexus of Fate. Counterspelling a Nexus of Fate puts it back in their deck. They Azcanta to dig for it later on. You know, that's just the way it's going to be. They're going to get it again. If you Syncopate it, they have 1 fewer copy. They have to dig further, and it makes it that much less likely that they're going to get it. But also, countering something on turn 2 is so good, because then you very likely will have a way to counter it on turn 3, or at least kill it on turn 3, or maybe put it back on top of their deck. Which brings us back to the last card that we skipped over earlier, Warrant and Warden. The Warden side of this, the right side, creating a Serra Angel that is also blue for 5. It's not what you want to be doing for 5 mana in Modern Magic, but it's not something that's completely out of the realm of possibility. You can kill someone with a Serra Angel. It has Vigilance. That's great against aggro. This is the the more likely game finisher against aggro if you haven't drawn Lyra. Because not only can it attack each turn, but it'll also block their little weenies that are trying to come through. Their Viashinos just don't do anything to it. If they want to attack into it and then shock it, good. It's a 2-for-1 as is. But the real star is Warrant. The putting an attacking creature back on top of its owner's library is... As soon as I saw this card, I knew that was going to change the way aggro played in Standard. There's nothing you want to draw less on turn 6 or 7 than a Llanowar Elf or... the 1/1 haste goblin. That is not what you want to be doing on those turns. You want to have something that can do more damage than that. So this is very irritating. You mess with top decks. I mean, it's not even bad on turn 2. If someone has kept a 2-land hand and they're trying to get that 3rd land, now they're drawing back into something that they have to they're not only not getting land, but they also have to cast it again and then wait a turn before it can attack. I mean, you see the point. So that's what it is. This is the one we're going to be playing today. I know I went into a little more detail this time, but I feel like there's reason to go into more detail about these card choices. It was sort of built around this best of one that I tend to play more of, simply for the sake of time. I can play more games, I can record more games in this format. Beelzen. I'm going to call him Beelzebub. We're going to keep this. It's not the most exciting hand, but I do feel like having a 2-drop that can protect us and a 2-drop that draws us a card while we're waiting is going to be plenty to hit that 3rd and 4th mana. Besides, we also have a 3 and a 4 if we do manage to draw it. This being the one that'll be hardest to cast, of course. I didn't go over the lands because the lands are pretty much jam all of the rares that you have into your deck. And the more you have, the better your land base is going to be, period. I love the orange off spells. Well, our opponent seems to have kept a 1-lander. I have no reason to pretend like I've got a counter spell. I'm not under enough pressure to want to cast a Revitalize this turn. Okay. Druid of the Cowl, yeah. Man, if he attacks with that, we're going to just leave it as is. I don't want to destroy it. I can destroy anything bigger he decides, but if he has to attack with it, I'm going to put it back on top of his library. Okay, Druid is fine. The question is, do I want to kill the other one? Nah, I'll just Wrath if I need to. Probably do it next turn. Oh, no, 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 no. He's doing it. Yep. That's bad. That's not where he wants to be, especially now that I've drawn a counterspell for it. I'm going to absorb this when he plays it again. I could Wrath it, but I'm going to Wrath when there's more problems to deal with. I'm going to set him back enough. Take 1. Go to 22. Godless Shrine, perfect draw there. Go to enter tapped. If he has nothing, we'll Chemisters. If he has nothing scary, we'll Chemisters. 3 mana is still a decent amount for the Golgari mid-range, but okay, now he's at 4. He's drawn his forest. We're less worried. Pass. We'll take 1. Take the damage. Insight into turn. Alright, and since, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, he can have up to 5 mana next turn. I'm not too worried about anything terrible. I'm going to go ahead and Chemister's Insight now. This will put me at 7, 6, 5, 6, 7. I think, I just played a land, didn't I? Let's do it. Gain the 2 life. Love that ticking sound. And we'll play our land. Unfortunately, it did not leave us with search for Azcanta mana. We'll leave this open just to make him think we've got a kill spell of some kind. Cast Revitalize into turn just to put us a little further ahead. We've got this one pretty well in hand. Like, I don't foresee him winning this. When you're attacking with a Druid of the Cowl, it doesn't feel very good. Revitalize. Just to let him know how little he's actually done this game. Oh dear. Oh dear. Yeah. Got 6 mana. I cannot do both things. Probably more important to go ahead and get Teferi out. He's only got single black. I'll hold open absorb. If he does manage to draw a swamp and try to Vraskas, I will just counter it. Okay. That's fine. Okay. Alright, we will go ahead and search up a basic island.
Keep up the pace.
Not horrible. Now we get to do this. and then not really give a damn about what he plays next turn anyway. But we'll make him think we've got potentially Syncopate or a small kill spell. I forget about Assassin's Trophy sometimes. But he used it on Teferi and searched for Azcanta. He's going to grab another one. Cool. I mean, we're getting cards out of his hand. And yeah, see, like, he had nothing better to do at that point. Like, I feel like there was no way he was coming back from that. We managed to not kill any creatures. We just put one back on top. But that's okay. We will eventually kill something, folks. I promise you. Kyle's Wrath does not say be gentle to all creatures. That is what Buddha's Wrath says. We're fighting against Bob Weirdo. And we are looking at a turn 2 Azcanta. Immediately makes me want to keep it. I'm going to play the Godless Shrine and listen in for the bells. Love those bells. Gruel. Okay, we're under less of a duress than we would have been against the mono red. The question is, how important is Azcanta? I think it's pretty important because right now we do not have double white, and Gruel likes to go wide with mid-rangey type creatures, 3/3s and 4/4s that have trample and hexproof and stuff like that. Oh, well this is different. What did he exile there? I still think I'm fine drawing this land because I'm not too worried about it. Beast Whisperer and Llanowar Elves. So we're against the Elf deck. We're not worried. Let's go. You have an elf, sir. Vraska's again I will leave on top. And pass turn. Not worried about Kai's Wrath. We're going to be single targeting down the Beast Whisperer this turn. Very likely. Goreclaw. That's another one we can just go ahead and get right on out. No. Absolutely not. So, the elves is not the game plan. I don't even know if that counts as destroying a creature, does it? Does exiling count? Let's find out. It does not. We're still at 0 of 25. This might not have been the best deck to play for this quest. I might have to switch it up. Just play mono white control. Board sweeps galore. I could play red white control. Play Zaboros. Nagrarok. Ugh. Welp. It's not the worst. I'll keep it. Open with a Watery Grave, Drowned Catacomb, then Flames. Alright. Looking at Izzet Guildgate. Cannot make too many judgments, but it's very likely they are playing Izzet. 2 Izzet Guildgates makes that much more likely. But they could drop down another Guildgate and just be playing the Gates deck. But very low. Oh, yep, see? See? We are now Rug. This could be Vannifar. With the Paradiso. What is this man doing? The madman. He's a madman, I tell you. Would kind of like to draw a Mortify just in the event that we are probably going to see a Wilderness Reclamation at some point. Yep. This is a Gates deck for sure. Because that is black, green, red, blue. Rhythm of the Wild. That's going to be a hard no from me, dog. I will. Chemister's Insight, end of turn. Holding open Revitalize if they somehow do something that makes me not want to Insight. That's neat. I've never heard that before. Okay. You got this one. No, I'm just gonna do this in response. Make you think I countered it. Absorb. You were the next card. Jerk. Okay. He could have followed that up with a creature, but, well. Oh man, do I mortify it now? I kind of want to, but at the same time I kind of want to warrant whatever they play and then mortify it next turn. So, we'll see what they do. If they do nothing, we can always insight, but I don't think I'll be doing that anyway. I kind of want to just hold on to that until I've got something that I really want to pitch with it. Alright, so if this is Carnage Tyrant, that's going to be worst case scenario. You can undo that. I don't know, he said oops, but I'm guessing he wanted to draw. Oh, that's unfortunate. Whoops, nope. Yeah, I know what I'm doing, buddy. You don't have to remind me that I'm playing. Enters, tapped, or do I pay the 2 life? If I pay the 2 life, play Teferi, then I've got 3 mana. Yeah, we'll do it. We'll go ahead. Alright, draw the card.
You know what? I'm not done yet.
Alright. Make sure we have the most maximized colors open to not counter what he plays. This is where he plays Carnage Tyrant, gives it haste, attacks Teferi, kills it. Or maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe he doesn't do anything. And now, I believe we can safely mortify something in the turn. We'll play this tapped, because I'm going to play it tapped regardless of what land I draw here. And this is going to be a land. See? See? Yeah, man, we know what we're drawing. Yeah, this is pretty well in hand. Untap up to 2 lands. There you go, buddy. You got it. So since he's playing what is very likely just a Gates deck, we're going to counter any big Gate spell that he plays. Unless it's a creature, in which case we'll wait for him to attack with it. It might be the Angel that gains him a bunch of life. His life total. Carnage Tyrant. Wee doggy. That's 1. Now we need to dig. Okay. It resolves. Yeah, that's a good one. Pass. My turn. Absorb. What are you doing? You're not helping me?
No time for a break.
Kaya's Wrath. Ugh. Damn it. Okay. Watery Grave. I think what I want to do, I'm actually going to use Warden. And the reason I'm doing this is because he's very likely going to attack Teferi. Teferi is kind of the worst thing for him right now. I'll discard the Swamp. This way I can block and save Teferi if he doesn't have a kill spell. I'm obviously not going to be using Warrant on Carnage Tyrant, for it has Hexaproof. If he attacks me, I will take the damage. I will cast Warden again next turn. Gates Ablaze deals X damage to each creature. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only 5. Yeah, see, he's trying to do a little one-sided thing here. I'm not a huge fan of that. No, you're not killing Teferi this turn. You can do it again, and I'd be fine with it. It looks like he's going to. Okay, that's fine. The card advantage is now ours.
Hardly my worst defeat.
Now we pretty much have to Chemister's Insight. Oh dear. 2, 4, 6, 8. Okay. Syncopate, I'm less worried about being able to counter something right now, because I am getting that Wrath. Didn't draw a land either to cast Warden, so it looks like we're going to be taking 7 regardless. I'm going to hold open Mortify in case he does something crazy this turn, but that is going to be an issue. Pitch that for now. He is blessed. He can start drawing cards. We'll take 7. Now, I kind of want to get rid of... Get rid of that one. It's kind of hard to choose at this point because we're digging for one specific card. That's one. That'll do. Yeah, we'll do that. So, Eldest Reborn can take care of him. Regardless of whether we can reanimate said creature, that Eldest Reborn is going to get him. You have one choice. Unless you've got a creature with flash. Ah. That's fine. Yeah, I could mortify something in response, but I don't think I'm gonna. The only thing that I can mortify right now is my own Eldest Reborn, and that would just be Siri. Play tapped. Next, end turn. Holding open, absorb. The one of Eldest Reborn coming to the rescue. Does he have another Carnage Tyrant? Let's find out. He's tapping a whole lot of mana. At least it looks like he is. These Gates decks they're kind of neat. I like the way they work. Niv Mizzet, that also cannot be countered. However, I'm less worried about him countering Niv Mizzet. Because I am going to 100% certainly mortify it before he can do anything. Because I actually think I'd rather bring that back than his Carnage Tyrant. Fine, you draw the card because you don't have as much control as the black-red or as the Jeskai decks have. And now you get to discard a card. You're gonna play that sheep. I don't know how much that thing costs. Gift of Paradise is totally acceptable. I could mortify Gift of Paradise, but I just don't care to. Instead, I'm going to play Teferi. Plus.
I know. Hold that thought.
And pass turn. Untap blue, white, blue, black. We got all of our colors. Ad infinitum. We can actually double absorb this turn. Opponent is manually doing everything. Yeah, I think I'm going to allow you to get more mana out there because I don't think any of your stuff scares me enough. Got it, man. Did he just get 2 more Izzet Guild Gates? And nothing to do end of turn. We will reanimate Niv Mizzet Parun. If he wants to kill it, he is welcome to. Just 1.
Let's skip to the good part.
Field of Ruin, huh? Oh wait, draw a card. Ping. I don't need to Field of Ruin anything. I don't care about his Arch of Vraska. We've got enough card advantage at this point that it's never going to catch us. Just want to get my tapped mana out there as soon as possible. In turn, then untap it. Then untap it. Let me untap it! He's going to Field, or he's going to Vraska. Yeah, I'm going to have to Field of Ruin that next turn for sure. I didn't need to play Hallowed Fountain here, but I also don't really care about his Field of Ruin, or his Arch of Vraska. Our spells are just much more powerful than his. Gates of Blaze, huh? Yeah. It's gonna draw. Oh, wow. Target him. Goodness gracious. Come on. There we go. Counter it. Cast an instant or sorcery. Draw a card. Counter hit or target him. Niv Mizzet is just. Oh my gosh. Fiery Cannonade. Yeah, I'll allow that. Can you? If he has 3 Fiery Cannonades, this is... Oh my god. Ping you? Because he's not going to like it when he tries to cast Deafening Clarion. He draws me a card, I counter it, and then he concedes. Because he has Deafening Clarion in his deck. And I'm just moused over this Absorb, waiting to use it. He's got to realize now that he has just drawn me, what, 3 cards this turn? Yep, we saw that one coming. He used both modes. I'm actually tempted to let him get it off. But, since he... Ping you. This is actually, like... This card is so stupid. Like, how did he see this going? If he has a 3rd one, then I am fine with him finally killing it. Ram is acceptable. It hits the battlefield, and then he gets the hell out of the game for good. And I draw a card to replace that. You are now empty-handed. No creatures on board. I have not only one of the most broken creatures ever put into Magic, I also have Teferi. I'm in the Field of Ruin, your Arch of Vraska right now. Grab an Island, because it is land. Lyra. Draw a card. This is over in ways that it has never been over before. Oh yeah, ping. I always forget to do the ping. Play search for Azcanta, because why not? We're going to have to discard anyway. Nothing else to do. Next to attackers, all attack face. 1 or 5. In turn, untap. Discard, land, boring land. Kudos to our opponent for sticking in there with this one, because this game has been over for a while. Italy! Good for you, man. You are running a spicy deck. I rather like it. It's not a fair matchup, but at least you're running something fun, not something completely degenerate like we are. Oh my goodness. 2 of 25? This is going to take all day. I'm going to play one more. And unless they're playing some sort of swarm deck that I can Kaya's Wrath. Still haven't cast one single Kaya's Wrath today. Oh, sneeze. Oh, wow. Yeah, you didn't hear it. I had to unmute my mic, but that was painful. Alpha Q Right, or Alpha Crite. Not sure. I'm actually really interested in keeping this for the turn 2 Syncopate. Not to mention Revitalize. Hello, and good game. I was suggesting that wizards, for the first 30 seconds of a battle, change good game to good luck. After that, see how this one switched from your go to thinking? They can definitely make that happen. We'll play the Glacial Fortress. Like I said, just for the thoughts of syncopating, because we don't have an absorb next turn. Opt, you got it. This is probably some sort of is-it, but possibly mono blue. actually very not going to syncopate that. I don't know why I even thought of it. Pass. I'm less worried about revitalizing later. Go ahead and get the extra draw in. Alright. Not the most exciting thing that we've ever done. We're going to pay the 2 life here, because I do want to be able to syncopate something for 2, in case he casts something that costs 3. Nope. Of course he's going to cast a 1-drop and play around Syncopate perfectly, because mono blue is a pisser. However, if we draw Warrant Warden, it's going to get him good. Okay. I'll play this tapped. Pass the turn. So this is one of those times that this card is not shining. Merchant also said that this was one of the tougher matchups for this deck, and I 110% see why. Mono blue is in a great position against control because it gets stuff out really early and then very easily protects it. Chart of course. I mean, I'm not going to get much more use out of this card. I might as well make him use a counterspell. Or pay for it, I mean. Prevent him from doing it twice. I really don't care. Now he's tapped out. I can resolve Teferi, bury his Storm Tamer.
Trust me. You'll thank me later.
Get out of here.
Reverse.
Alright. Now with any luck, he doesn't play anything with haste. Warrant Warden should get him pretty okay, unless he's got the dive down. But we'll find out. Oh wow. He's going all in on that, isn't he? Whoops. Alright, Field of Ruin. Is not going to do much to him, but I wanted to have 3 mana open because I do plan to cast this. +1.
You know what? I'm not done yet.
You know what? I'm not done yet. And then untap. We will make him think. Ah, we can't do double black-white, damn. I guess we gotta open up a blue-white too. Exclusion Mage? Well, that's not fair. Well, let's get the counterspell out of his hand. Wizard's Retort. Do you have it? Of course you fucking do. You've always got it. Oh, dive down. Okay. Well, let's get the Wizard's Retort out this turn then, because we are definitely going to be using 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Enters tapped, I think. We can do this just fine. If we go black, black, white, white. Now we do need to pay the 2 life for this one. And go for the Wrath. Cool. I was fully expecting that to go much worse than it did. You got it. You have a Jinny. And a Storm Tamer. Now that leaves me options. Do I make him sack the Storm Tamer now? Nah. We're just going to play Lyra. That's the scatter. Okay. Yep. We knew this was going to be a difficult matchup. He's not going to attack with just the Djinn. We're going to at least save 1 damage by doing this. We get rid of the Storm Tamer. He's got 1 card in hand. Eldest Reborn gets rid of the Djinn. Okay. We're killing creatures. Yeah, this is the best. Go ahead and do that now. We still hold open Warrant. Alright. Discard. What you got? Dive down. Not so good against what you got going over there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Not enough to cast them both. I think I'd rather just go ahead and use the Warden right now. Go ahead and get a threat on board. And that's the game. Woo! Okay. We've taken down mono blue. Always, always a treat. We've killed now 6 of our 25. Oh my god. You know, I think I'm actually just going to call it here. I'm going to have to play a whole bunch of stuff today to get that 25 kill count up. Hell, I might not even finish it today. These do build up over a couple of days, so. Yeah, I hope you all enjoyed. That's the Esper deck that, like I said, Merchant put together this one, and it seems pretty good. Go ahead and hit the export button because it'll be going directly to YouTube shortly. And yeah, not one Kai's Wrath. No, I'm sorry, I take it back. One Kai's Wrath, and it was against mono blue, and it was glorious. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I did. Take care.